The following is paid programming.
It's time to talk taxes.
New friends, new opportunities, new partners. EG Tax.
It's Ask the Tax Lady with Esther Gulius and EG Tax on News Radio 930 WBEN. To reach Esther now, call 803-0930. Toll free at 1-800-616-9236. And cell calls are free at star 930. And now, live from the WBEN studios, it's Esther Gulius.
Hey, everybody, this is the Tax Lady, and this is our hour to talk taxes. And I'll tell you, last week, we went to Atlantic City, and we went to an IRS convention to make sure that we knew what the heck we were talking about. And you want to know something? What did we learn, guys?
We knew what we were talking about.
We knew what we were talking about.
We knew
so
that
we're really glad that we were telling you everything was absolutely correct, and we were so happy that I don't think there was any. It was just really great to hear them say, "Oh yeah, they got it right."
Yeah,
but
they
got it right.
I talked to a presenter as we were leaving, and I said, we were pleasantly surprised that we knew everything. He goes, but I was surprised how many accountants across the country didn't know anything.
Yeah, boy,
and
I'll
I
tell
said,
ya.
well, we have a leader who makes sure you
because
know.
I think it's important. You can't. Here you are in the middle of the tax law change year. If you don't make these decisions now, I mean, it's too late in January.
Yep.
And so that's why, because we just got all shiny little A's last week that we knew, we're going to cover what the tax law changes mean to you. If you have questions, 803-0930, 803-0930, star 930 on a cell phone. And our text is 3930 if you want to text in because you're too chicken to call. And this week I've been dealing with repressed memories. I think that there's like some politicians from New York State, I think, held me down in an alley one time.
We could get you fixed. We'll get you buffed up. We'll bring you
I'm
to
telling
a
you,
psychologist.
I was flying into Buffalo.
Those.
I was flying into Buffalo this week, and there was a man sitting next to me. I was having a Coke, and his knee touched my knee, and he said, "Oh, excuse me, ma'am." And I looked at him, and I said, "Well, just watch out, buddy. 36 years from now, I may haul you up on sexual charges." And he looked at me, and he says, "I'm so sorry, ma'am." And I said, "I'm just kidding."
His eyes bugged out of his
Just
head,
kidding.
became glazed.
Oh, my God.
But that's the world we live in right now.
Oh, it's so
But
sad.
Judge
I mean, I am
Kavanaugh,
just
I
sick
feel
about the
so-
way we're all so uncivil to one another.
Yep.
It is just breaks my heart. But anyway.
I remember Chris telling me many years ago, he goes, I don't understand, for our country, they have to, the right and the left have to fight. Can't there be one united, it's like one united
Power.
party?
It's all power.
Yeah.
I don't even understand the power thing.
Yeah.
Because if you're willing to ruin the country for power, I mean, that's
bewildering.
I can't believe that you can't have civil discord. But anyway, tell everybody about our tax school. What's going on with our tax school?
Sure. So our tax school starts like October 11th, 12th, and it meets twice a week in the mornings or evenings. It's free of charge. You just have to purchase the book, which is about $90. There's also an online version if you're not able to make the classroom. And our hope is we'll teach you taxes from A to Z. Our hope is that you become an employee and work at one of our 35 locations.
Right. So
and
you
so
start
it's a great
off,
opportunity.
and what's so great is you start off like as a novice, right? And then we have a 4-year program, all free, and it culminates in an enrolled agent's exam. And so we are looking for people that enjoy weird things like we enjoy, because you know what, so much of your money goes to taxes.
Yeah, I learned from a few of our preparers at our office, and I forgot to tell you this, Esther, that like Tim was trying to talk to an IRS agent, and no longer will an IRS agent talk to you unless you're an AFTRP or an EA. And so he had to slide Chris or I in because the agent wouldn't allow power of attorney for somebody who wasn't of those two.
Well, and that's part of what we do. We get you to so you can become an enrolled agent. I'm Esther Gulius, the tax lady. That was Tiffany Fabian and Christopher Fabian, who join me every week in studio. Hey, Chris.
Hello, Esther.
All right, do you want to tell everybody about our buzz?
Sure. What's the buzz? It's a seminar we're having on October 13th at the Eastern Hills Mall. Our main location there is going to be at the WBBZ studio, right outside the Niagara Emporium. And we have another location. So we're going to have 2 seminars going back to back, side by
every
side,
hour,
every hour, with private sessions to help you if you don't want to ask somebody in front of everybody else. But our presenters are going to be you. Yay. We have
And you.
and me and Tiffany talk about what we're going to talk about today and other taxes. We have Dennis Kitchen to talk about bankruptcy and other types of legal issues. Mike Hayfleck to talk about Social Security and when to take it, when not to. Russ Scullo talking about exchanges, and that's some area people don't understand. But I know we just had a client today that he saved $45,000 in taxes.
I think that my client was my brother. It was my brother.
I wasn't going to say that.
My brother
but
got rid of all of his rental property in Detroit, and he moved it to Florida. And so he used Russ Gullo. And that was interesting because he was going to use an exchanger in Detroit, which was going to charge him 3 times as much as what Russ charged him. And so it was wonderful to say to my brother, no, use Russ.
Right, right.
Yep. And then we have Jeff Katz to talk about elder law, how to prepare for nursing homes, things like that. Judy Jack Lewis, the #1 real estate agent, to talk about how to improve your house, what to do if you're looking to sell your house. Jeff Boron, the college planner. Tim Eliason talking about healthcare, whether it's Medicare or the marketplace. We can do either or for you at EG Tax.
And if you're interested, call 632-7886 to register,
Or you can go on our website.
egtax.com. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Very exciting. And there'll be food. Food is
Oh,
good.
and we're providing snacks for breakfast, and we're getting light lunch, pizza. Is that light?
No.
I mean, I wouldn't
well,
touch
if
a
you eat
pizza
one
with a
little
10
piece, it's light.
Yeah.
And then we're also doing the radio show from there. So we're doing a live remote,
right,
which
so,
is pretty cool.
So you want to go have a great time. It's absolutely free. Gives you an opportunity, like Chris was saying, you can meet with the presenter after their session one-on-one, so you can ask questions right then and there, and it's a free service that EG Tax is sponsoring because we love you and we want you to make sure that you know what's going on. So,
Yep.
All right, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on your cell phone. I'm going to go to the phones right now. We're going to take a short break after this call, and you make sure you hop on those phone lines to ask your questions. And we got Chris in Angola. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Esther.
Yeah. Hello, Chris.
Hang
Did you just fall off the bar stool there, Chris? What's going on?
exactly.
What can we help you with?
I got a letter from the New York State tax people,
Yeah, sure.
and they suspended my license
Oh, my gosh.
payment of New York State.
We hear that often.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So, is there something you can do to help me?
Yeah, we can help them, right, Deb?
Absolutely. Yeah, so the reason they do that is because you haven't filed or you owe back taxes, and we handle that and help you all the time. Most importantly, before we can do an offer and compromise, we've got to get all your back taxes filed. So a lot of times we'll fill out a form 4506T, which is a request for transcripts from the IRS, which also have your New York income, and we'll get those returns filed.
So, Chris, have you been filing? Are you self-employed?
No, I just don't.
You just don't file.
I just don't think I should have to pay.
Okay, so here's the thing. You know that, and a lot of people feel that way, that they shouldn't have to. But you know what? If you don't, then they have punitive things that they can do, like suspending your driver's license. So here's the thing. You just give us a call, talk to Tiffany or Chris or myself at EG Tax. There's no charge for us to take a look at everything for you. We're going to get you to get all up to date. And you may think you owe taxes, but after we get done with you, you may not owe any taxes at all. But the important thing is when you live in New York State, you have to comply with both federal and state laws. And so that's the situation. So the phone number at our office is 632-7886. 632-7886, and we want to help you.
And I got to say this, I don't say this very often on air, but we're one of the most reasonably priced people. We had an attorney go to a seminar for other CPAs, and the charges and the costs were just astronomical, whereas we are not. And so
our fees
heart is to help
versus
you.
another national firm would be less than half of what other people charge. So you're going to get a great job for a very reasonable fee. And the thing is, if we're able to help you without doing anything for you, but make a phone call, it'll be no
That's
charge.
what I was going to say. We're going to
Okay.
intercede with New York.
All right.
All right, Chris.
6-3.
We'll talk to you on Monday.
It's 632-7886.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Chris. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady, 8030930, 8030930, star 9 on your cell phone. We're going to be back talking about all the tax law changes that affect you, and you can call. Wow, it sounds like a game show. This is the EG Tax Game
Guess
Show.
your refund.
Yes, and we will. We're going to help you with next year's taxes. 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on your cell phone. Actually, if you haven't gotten your New York State refund yet, we can help you with that because. Believe me, if they sent you a letter and you didn't answer it, even if you answered it and they still haven't sent your refund, sometimes you call them and they go, oh, really? Did you really answer it? We don't have it processed. So you got to do it again. So if you're still waiting for New York State to send you the money, give EG Tax a call. We'll help you with that. And again, there's no charge. Okay, let's talk about some of the changes in the tax law. And by the way, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on your cell phone. And you can text us at 3930 and we'll answer your tax questions that you chicken guys are afraid to call on the telephone. Okay, let's talk. All right, we went to that. We already have told you all of this stuff, but we're going to reiterate. As far as income, all the income is still taxed pretty much the same as last year. There's new deductions, but the income stays the same.
Right. They lowered the tax rates, which is
But
really
the
good.
income is still
Right.
taxes.
Yep,
So
yep,
everything that was on last year's return, that's the status quo. The interesting thing is, though, President Trump really wanted a half a page of paper. That's what he wanted. He wanted a postcard. So they did a postcard. The 1040 is now a postcard. But you have to attach 6 extra schedules to make the postcard work. So it's like a car with no gas. So he's got the half-page postcard, but in order for the car to work, you got to put gas in, which is 6 new schedules. So you'll see that's very interesting. Itemized deductions. Itemized deductions are still in there. Medical is still limited to everything over 7.5% of your AGR, but next year it goes to 10%. So that makes it harder in 2019 for medical.
So get your procedures done now, including dental.
Right. And that includes medical, dental, anything to really alleviate a specific medical problem. In New York State, if you're a private pay patient in a nursing home, they're also charging you a bed tax, which is fully refundable. They shouldn't be charging you that, but you have to fill out a form to get back the money that they shouldn't be charging you. So if you're a private pay patient, 6% of the nursing home charge. So if they're charging you $100,000, $6,000 is going to come back to you, and you have to do a credit form in New York State, right, Tiff?
That's right. That's right. New York State.
8879, I think it is, right?
That's not a
For New York
No, that's
State?
not for New York State.
248?
258.
258.
Yeah.
Together
So if
we
you're a
three.
private pay patient in a nursing home in New York State, they're overcharging you. New York State's going to send you the money back only if you submit the paperwork. If you have somebody that you've been paying for years, private pay, and you've never asked for it, you can get it back for 3 years.
I think New York might hope that you don't fill out the
I
paperwork.
think they do think that. All right, taxes. We all know about the maximum taxes this year, including state withholding, state withholding, property taxes, sales taxes, foreign taxes, cannot exceed $10,000. That's a real burner for New York State residents.
Everybody's been fondly referring to it as the SALT.
Right.
Yep.
Are they putting it in the wounds?
Yeah, well, that's for sure. Mortgage interest. Mortgage interest is still deductible without change. For new mortgages, they can't exceed over $750,000. Old mortgages, $1 million. But it all has to be for acquisition indebtedness. This is really important. So for those of you that had been using your mortgage you refinance to pay off student loans or car loans. That's a problem, right?
Because that's not mortgage acquisition. It's indebtedness.
So that would make it not taxable. So we have a form, Chris, that you came up with.
Right. We have a nice worksheet out there through our website. You can even call us. We can mail it to you if you would like. It's to help you figure out how much interest you really have deductible. I think around here, I mean, there are some houses that exceed the $750,000, but I think it's going to come down to more the home equity loans, whether or not they're going to be 100%
So this
deductible.
is primary, secondary, and home equity, right?
Correct.
But it all has to be mortgage indebtedness. So it either has to be acquisition indebtedness to remodel your home or substantially change your home in order for it to be deductible. So if you're sitting there saying, gee, so we paid off our kids' student loan, then that portion of the student loan that you repaid that's part of your mortgage is not going to be deductible in the future. So look at Chris's wonderful worksheet so that you don't make a mistake, because you don't want to get audited over that.
Yeah.
Right. And
Just
they said
because the bank sends you 1098 doesn't mean anything.
And like you said, they said that's going to be more of an area for examination.
that could be a letter. Prove what you spent
That's
your
right. And so you want to make sure you do that now, and so you can go right on our website. Where is that found on our website, Chris?
under tax changes.
Okay. Next thing is now charity. You can take up to 60% of your adjusted gross income as a charitable
Used to
deduction.
be
But more than
50.
anything, that's so cool, is if you're somebody that has to do a required minimum distribution, and you're somebody that also gives to charity, make sure you have your IRA, whoever's handling your IRA, do a direct payment from your IRA to the charity, because that'll fulfill the RMD requirement, and it won't be income to you, and it's a great way to save money.
That's right. Really
right.
good option.
Right. Casualty losses, just like what happened a couple weeks ago in North Carolina and South Carolina, was federally declared disaster area. Those are still deductible as a casualty loss.
Yeah, because and going back, another thing about the RMD is that when you take that RMD, it makes more of your Social Security taxable. So by doing what you suggested, that helps to alleviate that.
And we have a
too.
newsletter that we're putting out this month,
Yep.
this quarter, that explains about
lot
how
of
much
these.
money you save when you do the direct contribution to the charity rather than taking the taxable.
Yep, it has lots of things about tax tips and what to look
Right.
for and plan.
All right.
You know, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sticking with the theme of the RMD to charity, it's not just a tool to help you on your taxes. It's a tool to help you keep your income down for your STAR program, because that keeps your income down.
That's
The
true.
enhanced STAR, I should say.
Good for you.
To help you keep down your Medicare premiums from Social Security.
Yep.
Because once your income, and I don't have the figures on me, start exceeding a certain level, that $130 a month will go up to $170 a month, to
Absolutely.
$200 to $350 a month.
Absolutely.
So there's a good couple reasons there to do it. The money you could save.
The
is,
bottom line is, you should give us a call. There's no charge. We want to help you because we want to help you to not pay taxes. And again, our phone number is 632-7886 at the office, and we're at egtax.com. We're going to go to Joe, who's been waiting so patiently. Mr. Joe, how can we help you, sir?
Hello, Esther. Yes, I'm retired with Social Security and a modest pension. I was filing my taxes every year, and then it came to the point where I wasn't owing anything.
Right.
So I was told that I didn't have to file anymore.
They're not taking taxes out of your pension, are they, Joe?
No,
So how much is your pension?
it's $95.22.12 a year, and that's not going to increase or anything.
Okay, so the only other income you have is Social Security, and you're a single guy?
Yes.
Yeah, so you don't owe any taxes, so you don't have to file. However, on New York State, do you own a home or pay rent?
I pay rent.
Okay, if your total income, including your Social Security, is under $18,000, you might qualify for
The real property
the real
credit.
property tax credit. So you might have a little bit of money coming back from New York State. So look into that. Okay.
Well, I take $15,000 from
Social Security.
How much?
Yeah.
15.
Okay, then you won't qualify because you have to have income under 18,000. That hasn't changed in like 100 years.
Oh, I know.
has it?
Yep.
For
Yep.
New York.
Everything else goes up. But anyway, for everybody else that's listening, if your total income, including your Social Security, is under 18 and you don't have to pay taxes in New York State, they might owe you something if you rent or have property that's valued at, again, less than 85,000. You'd have to live in a shoebox anymore. But anyway, okay, Joe?
So I'm not required to file with.
You're good to go.
That's correct. You're not required to file. And I'm sure you're not under the age of 65. We would have talked about that and disabled, right?
I'm 73 and disabled.
Yeah.
Okay. If you were under 65 and disabled and you got a pension, it might be considered earned income credit, and so you get an EIC credit, but you're not
in your
that
case, that's not correct.
Sir, I'd like to say one other thing.
Yeah.
When I moved back here from Chicago in the late 70s, I found my tax return from then, and it was done by you.
How could that be, Joe?
Should I block at that time?
That's true. I've been around. Joe. Hey, thanks for calling.
Very much.
All right, thank you, sir. I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on your cell phone, and you can text us at 3930. We'll be back on the other side of the news. Hey, I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930. And we're talking about some of the changes that have already been implemented and things that you should know. The miscellaneous itemized deductions are gone. Mm-hmm. So if you were an over-the-road truck driver, if you were an outside salesperson, if you were paying your stockbroker management fees, if you were paying for tax prep, if you had union dues, if you
had to renew a license, a professional
that's
license.
right. Continuing education, gone. But I will tell you, I think this is going to be challenged because it really discriminates against employees. If you were as self-employed, it'd all be deductible.
Yeah.
It just is unbelievable. So that's right now how it sits. But miscellaneous deductions, new things, are that gambling losses up to income are still deductible, plus the cost, limited to your total income you're claiming, of going to gamble. So, like, let's say you had to go to Las Vegas. Had to go to Las Vegas.
I know, I was
So
thinking
your
that.
airfare would be deductible, your hotel and meals towards the gambling. So that's a change. I wonder if it's because Trump was involved. Do you think? Personal exemptions are gone, but the old rules for dependents are still in there. Mm-hmm. So you get no money, but you have to follow the old rules. Child tax credit, this is great for people who have kids under the age of 17, is now $2,000, up to income of $400,000 married joint. So that's like big money, with $1,400 of it being refundable.
Right, because the old law was it cut off at $130,000 and capped at $1,000.
But everybody whose kids just turned 17, you are really sad.
Oh, yeah.
Because there ain't nothing for you except for the child tax credit, the family credit,
right?
Which is now $500. That's a new credit. Let's see. What else we got? Phase out, I already told you to say that. Postcard form, I said 6 pages. Tax rates are lowered, and that's a great thing. Now, one of the things that we saw in Atlantic City when we were there is all of the consternation and calculations for the 20% pass-through, right?
Right.
Now, if your income's under $350,000 adjusted gross income, you got no problem. It doesn't make any difference if you're in a service business, if you're a stockbroker, doctor. Your net profit is going to get a deduction of 20% over and above your itemized deductions, right?
Correct.
If your income, and $157.5 if you're single. If your income exceeds $315 to $415 married filing a joint return, then you have a phase out. And then what happens is you have to take a look at the wages you're paying or the 25% of wages you're paying plus 2.5% of your non-adjustable basis of depreciable assets, or what else was the third? 50% or 20% of your net profit, whichever is lower.
Right.
So there's this phase in. So that is something where, and the interesting thing is, this covers all of your businesses. So whether you're an S corp, got a Schedule C, you
Real
got rental
estate.
property, everything gets netted together.
Right.
So if you have a $100,000 loss on a rental property because you have accelerated depreciation, and you had a $100,000 gain on an S corp, the one is going to net each other, and you'll get
Zero.
nothing.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important that you tax plan now to make sure that you don't use accelerated
That's what I was
depreciation if you
thinking.
don't need it.
And you want to make sure the person who's doing your return knows that.
Knows that.
Yes. Yep. And we learned a lot about that there at the seminar.
That's true.
About planning. And
the planning part
the
was
planning
really
part.
interesting.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to the phones. 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone, and we're going to Tom in Tonawanda. Hello, Mr. Tom. What can we do for you, sir?
I got a question regarding the mortgage interest deduction.
Yeah.
How does that apply to residential investment property, apartment buildings?
Okay, so the apartment buildings, as long as it is debt associated with the apartment buildings, then it's going to be deductible.
What if I refinance it?
As long as you didn't refinance over the cost basis plus improvements.
You're fine.
So if you took money out over and above the cost basis plus improvements, your adjusted basis.
And
so
it
to
still
speak.
would be deductible on the Schedule E.
It was, so if I took out, I have a rental property that's almost paid off. If I refinance the rental property to pay off the mortgage on my primary residence, so I can get could I still get the benefit of the interest deduction and write it off?
That's there. What they basically say is that you have to see where the money went. If the money did not go for the investment, it's not going to be deductible. If the money went to your personal residence, it's going to be deductible on your Schedule A, provided it's acquisition indebtedness, which in this case wouldn't have been, unless you were doing remodeling on your primary residence.
Okay.
So you have to be really, really careful. So does your form deal with this, Chris?
It says, what did you do with the money? And it breaks down.
What you did with it.
Yep.
So go to our website at egtax.com, and there's a form that Chris did that might help you, because it has to do with where did the money point. If the money pointed towards the investment, it's going to be deductible as an investment property, as for your investment property. If the money that you took out pointed towards your personal residence or your personal expenses, and it isn't for acquisitional indebtedness or remodeling or substantially changing the nature of the property or adding onto the property, then it's not going to be deductible.
So if you refinance investment property, it's not carte blanche deductible as a business expense?
No, not carte blanche anymore.
Oh, I don't like that.
No.
Yeah, I think that, but it's always been that way. If you had over,
Was $1 million.
no,
100,000.
100,000.
No, on rental property, if you had taken out more than the amount you had paid for it, that could be possibly not deductible anyway. So, but I think what you want to do is give us a call, Tom, and what we'll do is we'll walk it through with you on the phone, or you can email us. We'll do all the work for you and tell you how it all works out for you.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome, sir. Bye-bye. I'm Esther Goulias, the tax lady, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. The other thing is investment interest, again, is limited by investment income.
Right.
Right.
And the other thing is with, going back to Tom's question, if you want the 20% pass-through, if your rental is throwing a loss, you're not going to get any loss on that rental. And if you have other business income, the one is going to offset the other. So it'll reduce the 20% pass-through.
Right.
Which
so,
is a
so
brand new
that mortgage
deduction.
that he was talking about would have kicked him into a higher loss. And so maybe he wouldn't have been privy to the 20%.
But he didn't use it for his investment property.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. He couldn't have used it anyways.
All right, we'll go to Marilyn. Hi, Marilyn.
Hi.
What can we do for you?
Well, I'm a senior citizen. For years and years, I've been saving stuff all year round to give to charity.
Good for you.
Now, last year I was told that 5 bags are what I usually gave. had to be itemized.
Right.
Okay, now what am I going to do with it this year? Is there any change?
No, I mean, in essence, itemized deductions are still itemized deductions. The thing is, as a single taxpayer, you have to come up to a threshold of $12,000. And if you're over the age of 65, more like $13,500 in order for you to be able to itemize. So when whoever gives charity, regardless of their age, you have to document if you're giving non-cash. If you're giving cash contributions, you need a receipt from the charity over $250 that says you gave. If you're giving non-cash, you have to do a really good list of what you gave, how much it cost, what the value was when you gave it, and what was the fair market value at the time of the donation. That's always been the law.
Yeah. Well, I itemize every year because I have a lot of deductions.
Well, we discovered under the new law that single people are going to be easier to
itemize,
itemize
yeah.
than a married couple.
So, but the thing is, if you're giving items, Marilyn, that are more than $5,000, you have to attach a
itemized.
what do you call that?
An
appraisal.
8332.
An appraisal.
Oh, no, it wouldn't go quite that far.
Okay.
No, and I'm married.
Oh, so in your case, it's going to be $24,000 plus the extra deduction for you both being over 65 if you are.
Yes.
So it may be very difficult for you to itemize.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, dear. Have a great day. All right, and we're going to go to, you guys have something to say for yourself?
No, thank
All
you
right.
for being charitable.
All right, we're going to Debbie. Hi, Deb.
Oh, I have two questions. One relates to that charitable giving. I'm 65. I'll be 66 next month. Could you repeat that again? What it is? If I don't itemize, I'm single.
All right.
But I give quite a bit to charity, about $7,000 a year.
All right. Do you own your own home?
Well, I own it. Yes, I don't live in it as a residence, though. My son lives there. Yes, I do own a house.
All right. So do you charge him rent?
I don't make anything on it. Yes, I pay what I charge him the exact payment that the mortgage payment is.
All right. So you're renting where you live,
Yes, I'm renting.
and you don't have large medical bills.
No.
And so, if you were to guesstimate what you give to charity, what would you think it was?
7,000, she said, right?
10% of my gross, and I write checks and I get a receipt.
And so, how much would that be? 7,000, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. So until you come to like $13,500, you're not going to be able to itemize. So at 7,000, you're not going to be able. You know, if you have 7,000 in charity, no property taxes, no medical expenses. And you're not gambling, going someplace unusual.
She could take the property taxes because she's not charging fair market rent, right?
No, I'm not charging fair market rent.
So she could take
As
the
long
property.
as she's claiming the income on line 21.
Okay,
But you can't write off the expenses anymore on the 2106.
Right. So
Very
that's
complicated.
So that's how much are the taxes, Deb? That you how much for your son? How much are the taxes on the house?
Not very much.
How much?
2,000.
I guess.
Yeah. Then you're still not going to be able to itemize. Here's the rub that Tiff is alluding to. Since there's no 2106 anymore, the income that you're charging your son is taxable as miscellaneous itemized deductions. I mean, miscellaneous income, line 21. So if you're charging him $1,000, that's $12,000 in income. And you can't offset it by any of the expenses. So you're really shooting yourself in the foot. You need to charge your son fair market value rent so that you can list it as an itemized deduction, so you can take all of your expenses,
including the property
taxes on a Schedule E. And then if you want to give your son a gift during the year, you can give him a tax-free gift. But if you don't charge him fair market value rent, it ends up as income with no deductible expenses. And this is for anybody listening. It can really bite you in the butt this year.
So call us. It's really complicated.
Okay, that was question one. So when I retire, and I guess I'll retire when I'm 70, and I have a little bit of money saved.
Okay.
Determine what I want to continue to receive money from. It's just in a pension plan at my job.
Right.
So how do I determine what's the best I want to invest it so that I'll get a little bit of a return and be able to live out.
Well, obviously, you want to go to, if you haven't, do you have an investment advisor?
Well, sort of.
So, it's good, like Mike and Glenn, the financial guys were on just before us. It's good to go and get a second opinion. Go talk to your financial guy, see what he suggests. Go talk to the financial guys, see what they say. If you have another financial advisor that you like or that somebody recommends, go see what they say. Then it's good if you want to give us a call. We will tell you, we will interpret what they said so that, kind of sort through it, because they can use some terminology that many times you're not used to.
Yeah, 'cause
so
I don't know what a person would even look at.
Well, they're going to take a look at your total assets, and they're going to make some suggestions relative to how much return on investment you can get. I'm assuming your son's house is almost paid for?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so that's equity too that you might want to look at.
Right, which you may want to be careful too, because in case of a nursing home, they could take the house and then your son loses the house he's in. You may want to sell the house to your son and give him equity every year to cover the cost, so then he eventually gets the house and it's out of your name.
But if whatever she'd owe, it's still
depending on
right.
what the balance due is.
That's true. But the thing is, it's good to talk to somebody and do a plan, Debbie. So again, if you want to give us a call, but I would suggest you talk to Mike and Glenn, talk to your financial guy, take a look at a third, and see if they can't come up with a plan so you can get some money upon your retirement.
Right.
Okay, dear?
What is it, a 5-year look back for selling the house?
Yes.
To get on Medicaid and all that?
Yes.
Yes. Happen, but I do think about that.
Yes, it's a good thing to think about before you need to think about it.
All righty.
Okay, thanks, dear.
A good place for her to go may be to our What's
seminar.
the Buzz
we
seminar.
We have the Buzz seminar, and all these wonderful experts will be there, and you can ask them all, what do you think? Yep. So you can register for the Buzz on our website, or you can call our office, right?
Yep, go to egtax.com. There's a link, or just call 632-7886. Talk to Tammy, and she'll get you registered.
All right, let's go to Mike in Buffalo. Hi, Mike.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
I got a couple questions, real simple, because of the new tax laws.
Yeah.
Daughter is 23, full-time student. She has a part-time job. Am I going to be able to write her off?
If you're giving over 50% of her total support, you are entitled to take her as she would qualify for the
500.
Right. She's been in school for 4 years, hasn't she?
The 500 family credit.
She's been in school for at least 4 years, right?
Yeah. Well, she took one semester off, but.
All right. Has she been a full-time student, continuing for the last 4 years?
Yeah.
All right, so she will then get what's called lifetime learning credit, and you will get the $500 family tax credit. And until she has wages of $12,000, she'll owe nothing to the federal government. However, if her wages are like just over $3,000, she's going to owe New York state taxes. So she wants to make sure that they're withholding properly.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, and then like expenses like cell phones and things?
No, only the cost of the education that you're paying for times 20% is going to be a credit for you.
But if you're paying, the cell phone goes to your support of her.
Right, that goes towards it, but it's not deductible.
This was another question. I'm an independent contractor.
Job expense.
So can I write that off?
All right, for your business, if it's the cell phone that you use for business and it's ordinary necessary, yes, but not if you bought it for your daughter.
No, it'd be just, I'm just talking about like.
For you, then it's deductible, yes. Anything ordinary necessary for you to make money, Mike, is going to be deductible.
Now, had you been a W-2 employee,
we would have told you no.
But since you're an independent contractor, you're okay.
Okay, but I also have a pension, and then I freelance as an independent contractor.
All right, so the independent contractor, all the expenses to produce the income, yes. The pension is going to be taxed by itself, and you're going to, on your net profit, you're going to get a 20% pass-through deduction as well.
Okay, what's that mean? I don't know what that means.
All right, so let's say that your net profit's $40,000 from being self-employed. that you're going to get a deduction of, as long as your income is under $315,000 because you're filing a joint return, then you're going to get a 20% deduction or $8,000 because of the Trump tax cuts.
Good point.
Okay, so I've been filing married single, or I'm sorry, zero single.
Are you married though?
Yeah.
All right. So on your pension plan, you've been filing zero single, right?
Right.
So that is to direct them as to how much to withhold from your pension. When you file a joint return, when you're doing your return, you and your wife are filing a joint return.
Right.
And so you're going to claim yourself, your wife, your daughter's going to be a qualified dependent. You're going to get a $500 family credit, and you're also going to qualify for the lifetime learning credit. And you're going to get a 20% pass-through deduction for being self-employed.
As long as you have a profit.
Brand new. That's brand new, Mike.
I would say give us a call on Monday.
And on our website, do we have all this stuff on the website?
Yep.
Yeah, look at our website too, Mike.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, I switched over to you guys this year. I was very happy.
Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Okay. I'm Esther Gulius, the tax lady from EG Tax. Let me give you an example, just like I was saying about Mike. Let's say you have adjusted gross income of $200,000 and you have a net profit from your business of $100,000. Then you're going to get a deduction of 20% of that $100,000, assuming there's no other businesses, which is a $20,000 deduction over and above your itemized deductions or standard deduction. So if you're a business, or if you have rental property, or if you have a C Corp, or you have an S Corp, you may, if as a C Corp, want to become an S Corp. You may, as an S Corp, want to become a C Corp. But the bottom line is you need to talk to somebody, your financial, you need to talk to your tax accountant now, because it's like too late in January. Right?
Baby.
And if you're, and by the way, the flat rate on a C Corp this year is 21%. So let's say that you had a C Corp last year that only made $20,000. You paid 15%. This year you'll pay 21%. So you don't want to stay a C Corp and pay at the higher rate because it's a flat rate across the board.
Planning.
So these are all the things that we want to help you with. And if you need help during the week, you can call us at our corporate headquarters, 632-7886, right?
That's
or
right.
visit us online at egtax.com.
Yep.
Ask the tax lady.
And our tax school, again, we're going to cover all this in tax school
That
too, aren't we?
C Corp part was so right. That was so. What if you were paying at 15%?
Right, that would be not so hot. All right, so because I have to leave, we didn't take our last break. We're going to take a break now. If you need us during the week, we'll be around to help you. I'm Esther Gulius, the tax lady. Chris, Fabian, Tiffany, and Fabian. Thanks for listening.